All right, so this is the second video for your notes. The first one was solving inequalities, multi-step, and now we're going to look at setting up some inequalities from word problems. Okay, so you should be on page 8 in your notes packet. I'm going to go through 4 examples here, and then in class we'll talk about a few more and have you do some practice with that. So this first example here, it says you walk dogs in your neighborhood after school. You earn $9 per dog. How many dogs do you need to walk to earn at least $75? So the question is asking how many dogs. Okay, so I know that for my variable, you can use X all the time if you want, but I'm actually going to use D and say that that stands for the number of dogs so that I can remember, oh yeah, this is what the problem is asking. Okay, so going back to this information, you earn $9 per dog. Okay, well that means I'm going to be multiplying. Okay, per means you're multiplying. 9 per dog, you know, so like 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and so on. So I know I'm going to be doing some multiplying. So I'm going to put 9D, so 9 times the number of dogs that I'm going to walk. And I have to earn at least $75. So I know my total is $75, but I have to think about at least. Okay, and we talked about this in class the other day, but at least means that's the lowest amount and it could be higher. So I'm going to say greater than or equal to 75. Okay, greater than or equal to 75. So now that I have that, all I have to do is solve that inequality so that I can figure out how many dogs I need to walk to earn at least the $75. So to solve this, this is multiplying, so I'm going to divide by 9, and I get D is greater than or equal to 8.3 repeating. Now, I'm not going to walk 0.3 of a dog, okay? So I need to think about what that means. So if I go down and round it down to 8, 9 times 8 is 72. I won't make my $75. So greater than, because I'm going up with the greater than, I need to round up. So really, if I walk 9 or more dogs, I'll earn the $75. Okay? So D needs to be greater than or equal to 9 dogs. So it could be 9 dogs, because 9 times 9 is 81. I would make that $75. But I would also earn a little bit more. All right, going on to example number 2. The Key Club plans to buy food for a food pantry. A case of vegetables costs $10.68. The club can spend at most $135 for this project. How many cases of vegetables can the club buy? All right, so here's my question. How many cases of vegetables? Okay, so I'm going to use the variable C this time and say that that stands for number of cases. Okay, so now I need to go figure out how I'm going to set up this inequality to figure this out. Okay, so remember, I'm going to have something to do with the cases, and then there's going to be some kind of total, and I have to find those key words to figure out what inequality symbol I want to use. So it says a case of vegetables cost $10.68. So that means 1 case. Okay, so again, we're going to be doing some multiplying, because if I have 1 case, then it would be $10.68. Then I'd take $10.68 times 2 to get for 2 cases, $10.68 times 3, and so on for the number of cases. So I'm going to put $10.68C, okay? And then it said they can spend at most, there's our keywords, at most $135. So I know my total is that $135. So now when I think about at most, that means that's the highest they could do. So that means it should be less than or equal to the $135. So it's equal because they could spend the $135, but that probably is not going to work out exactly with the $10.68. So it needs to be less than or equal to that. Okay, so now I just solved this in order to get my answer. And there's multiplying, so I'm going to divide by 10.68 on both sides to get my answer. Okay, so I have C is less than or equal to, and when I do that, I get 12.6. Okay, well, again, they're not gonna buy 0.6 of a case. They're gonna buy cases at a time. So if I have, say that that 0.6 would mean that I would round it up to 13. But if I take 10.68 times 13, that's too much money. That's 138.84. So they can't spend that. They can only spend the 135 or less. So that means because it's a less than or equal to, I want to round this down to 12. Okay, so 1068 times 12, just making sure that that is within their budget, is 128.16. So yeah, they don't have the money to spend for this one, but they have the money for that. So C has to be less than or equal to 12 cases. So you don't need to write a sentence, but you at least need to label what that stands for. All right, example 3. You want to make a rectangular banner. All right, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm actually going to draw a rectangular banner so that I kind of know what's going on. For the student section at homecoming, that is 18 feet long. Okay, I'm going to label this 18 feet long. You have no more than 48 feet of trim for the banner. What are the possible widths of the banner? So there's the question. What are the possible widths? So I'm going to use W, and I'm going to use that stands for the width of the banner. Okay, well, I know that on my banner, if this is 18, this is 18. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I do know that it's going to be the same thing over here. And in total, I only have the 48 feet. So I know that's my total. Okay, well, 18 plus 18 equals 36. So I already am using 36 of that. So 36 plus 2 times W, right? And then it says no more than, which means it has to be less than or equal to 48. So I have the 36 for the lengths. I need to have I need 2 widths, and that has to be under the 48. So to solve this now, I'm going to subtract 36 from both sides. I get 2W is less than or equal to 12. Divide by 2, and I get that the width has to be less than or equal to 6 feet. Okay, less than or equal to 6 feet. So again, the 6 feet is going to get me exactly the 48. But then if it's less than that, it will get me under the total of the 48. All right, last example here. And then, like I said, you'll work on some of these in class. All right, it says your cell phone plan costs $39.99 per month plus 15 cents for each text message. You budget no more than $45 a month for your phone bill. What is the maximum number of text messages you can send? Okay, so I'm going to choose T, and I'm going to say number of texts that I can send. All right, so I have to think about what goes into my cost. I have the phone plan cost, so that's $39.99 plus, there's that word plus, 15 cents for each text message. Well, I don't know what that is. That's why I used the variable T. So I'm going to put 0.15T. I'm going to multiply that, and it says no more than, so less than or equal to, and then my total of $45. So there's my equation, or sorry, my inequality. Okay, and now I'm going to solve this. So I'm going to subtract $39.99 from both sides. I get 0.15T is less than or equal to $5.01. Divide by the 15 cents, and you get T is less than or equal to 33.4. Again, I'm not going to send 0.4 of a text, and because this is less than, I want to round down. So the number of texts that I can send has to be less than or equal to 33. Okay, so I can send 33 or less to stay within that $45 for my budget. All right, please make sure that those are copied down and take a picture of that to submit that, and then also remember to take a picture of the solving inequalities from the first video to post as well.